Okay. I think we're live, Candace. I think we are live. If we're live, can you guys hear us? I'm new to StreamYard. It's a new way of doing this. Don't know if it's streaming on YouTube. Is it streaming on YouTube? I think it is. All right, sweet. Thank you everyone for joining today. I see there's some amazing folks in the chat for joining us. This is Candace. She's recently joined the team here at Women's MTV Network. She's amazing. She's helping myself, Becca, and Alexis doing all the things. And today we have an amazing guest on the podcast, Hannah from Juliana. I'm excited to talk to her. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited to talk to her.
Yeah, definitely.
So Hannah is the head of sports marketing at Juliana. Recently, I was chatting with her, and I think she'll tell us, but she's now working also with Santa Cruz marketing team, which is super exciting. Hey, everyone, Adam Mock is saying, hey, Candace.
What's up, Adam?
Johnny's on here. Do I get a whole shot award? The whole shot award is for people that log in, say the first comment like right at 6:30 or 5:30. That's typically what Mark does, the segment. David, thank you for tuning in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. All right, without further ado, let's bring Hannah on here. There she is. Hey girl, hey.
Hi. Thanks so much.
How you doing? Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm just finishing up a Monday work day and excited to talk to you both.
Hey, you're back from traveling, right? This is the time of year where you're home. Is that right?
Yes, in theory, yes. Supposed to be home, but yeah, it's been a wild few months, that's for sure. I was pretty much gone. Yeah, all of July, all of September. Just got back from our last journey to Rome Fest in Sedona, which was, their final Sedona Rome Fest. And it was just so good. It was amazing.
A good send-off.
It was so good. Like, I'm still riding the high from that. And, Rome's always, from the vendor perspective, obviously it's like so fun. It's a lot of work. It's tiring. This one just went so smoothly, and like we got fabulous weather, and we got to have this magical day after Rome where we got to ride with all the Romies and just hang out, and it was so good. So from that last week, and now just playing catch up with my emails, and hopefully I'll be home for a bit.
Yeah, that's always good. I can't imagine traveling for months on end. I mean, it's fun, right? I'd like to think what you do is super fun, but
I know, right? I'm like, I feel like I would miss my bed after a while. I mean, I was just gone 4 days for my brother's wedding, and I was like, I'm ready to be home.
Yeah, it's like people who don't travel for work, I think there's a lot of like, oh my gosh, like you can't complain. You get to do the coolest stuff ever, which you're not wrong. Like, I feel so lucky to get to do what I do, but it definitely has those challenges. Like, I like to be home. I get a little homesick, so it does have its challenges, and you feel like you kind of miss out on your community a bit at home, and but at the end of the day, so awesome to get this season in life, and I'm sure it won't last forever, so just gonna enjoy it.
Hannah, where is home for you?
Well, I live here in Santa Cruz. But I'm from Eugene, Oregon. So I always have to say I'm not from California, from Oregon.
We are all California transplants, I think.
Yeah, but I love living here in Santa Cruz. Yeah, so I moved.
That's awesome.
And
we have someone from Tasmania joining us today.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Heck yeah.
Welcome, fellow Aussie from Tasmania.
Yeah, I was like, what time is it there?
I think it's probably, hold on, don't type it in just yet. I should know this. 9 a.m.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. From tomorrow. And then you've got Adam Mock, who's recovering from a fractured ankle. Wish you well, my friend. I hope your recovery gets better soon. That sucks. So Hannah, you were telling us, so you're fresh from Rome. Rome Fest, for those of you who don't know, is the first, there are others, but it was the first all-women's mountain bike festival. They're absolutely amazing. I went last year to Sedona. And this year was their final Sedona because I think due to various reasons, and I think Ash is having some health issues. I think she's doing better now. They had to cancel. So just tell us a little bit. I know you touched on it, but what was that like? The final Sedona Fest, the final party that everyone had from a vendor's perspective. What was that like?
Yeah. So first off, just to say they will have Rome Fest next year. It'll just be one giant festival in Fruta in September. So you can still get to Rome. It's just in the past they've had 3. So yeah, this final Sedona, it was just so good and a little emotional because Rome Sedona specifically was like the first big mountain bike event I ever went to, even before I worked for Juliana. And so this was my 4th time at Rome Sedona. And it's just so good. I mean, having been there, Sedona is just this magical place. Like the vortex energy, it's swirling around.
It's a real thing.
You're getting swirled up in it. Yeah, it's so fun. The riding's so challenging, so fun. And yeah, I just feel like by now, Ash and Andy are just have it so dialed, Rome. Those are the founders of Rome. And yeah, it just went so smoothly. Ash seemed so chill. All the Romies I just felt like they had it on lock, and it just went really smoothly. And one of the better dance parties I've ever experienced at Rome. They do the silent disco.
Yes.
Oh man.
And
you're in costume. Like they encourage you to come in costume. I'm never going to forget my friend Kit. They had like the best costume. I think I have a photo of them. I have to post it later for y'all on Instagram. But it's so much fun.
It's so fun. And just, it draws a wide crowd, femme people of all shapes, sizes, all over the place. And it's really cool to be around such a like diverse community. And it's just such a special space. Like Rome is so sacred. I just feel so lucky to be a part of it. And I just love them so much. So it was great.
We're hoping the crew can be there next year for Fruta.
Oh my gosh, I hope so. That one's gonna be wild because already the Fruta one's the biggest. Like this year, I think there's 500 participants there, which is a lot. So next year there's gonna be 1,000. So that'll be wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have to go, Candace. You, me, Becca, Alexis, we're all going.
Yeah. See you there.
So good. Have you been, Candace?
So Rome had like a specialized demo that came into Bentonville, and I had signed up for it. I was kind of still a beginner mountain biker when they came in, so I really hadn't even heard about Rome yet because I was just getting into the biking community. And they just showed up, gave us a bunch of bikes to demo. And then we had like a bike mechanic class right after. So it was like pretty cool because I guess it would maybe be like a micro version of what Rome Fest would be because it was about like 8 hours.
Yeah.
So it was cool. So and I definitely wanted to, at that point, learned about the fest and all that's, all the things that go on there. So I'm like, well, I gotta do that. So 8 hours of fun.
It's
so in a weekend.
Any time you get to cross paths with the Rome crew, you're lucky. Even if it's 8 hours, if it's 3 days. Me feeling like I want to move to Grand Junction to get to hang out with them all the time. They're great. And
we should just go there and hang out. Why not?
Yeah. It really like Juliana's mission and Rome's, I feel like align so well, and it's just we thrive there for sure. So
was there any ABBA? Adam is asking.
I like that. I don't think there was any ABBA, but so they have the great part about the silent disco is there's 2 channels. So maybe some ABBA played on a channel I wasn't on at that moment because you're like, oh, this isn't the vibe. Switch the channel, and it's so fun. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I think Adam is saying, oh yeah, I got the Sugar Plum Fest swag back here. They gave me the.
Oh, nice.
It's the women's event at Sky Park, which is our local bike park.
Oh yeah, totally. We were there last year.
You should come next year.
Yeah,
we were there. Our logo's there. That's why I love that. Our logo's on there.
Awesome.
Represent.
So Tell us a little bit about your mountain biking journey. Like, how long have you been doing this, and what led you to Juliana, really?
Yeah. I did not grow up riding mountain bikes, and I grew up riding horses and playing soccer and all that.
Nice. Oh yeah, I think
Sponsored.
Spokeman.
Quick moment for mountain water.
I know. I
Yay!
was like, I promised guys, it's not a 40 ounce of beer. It's
Yeah,
it's water.
Some old English, just no big deal.
settle down, Johnny. It's water.
I should have
No, I'm
packed it
kidding.
in like a paper bag.
Yeah.
That would have been better. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, so I was a bike commuter and loved bikes, but I was living in Corvallis, Oregon at the time. I graduated college. I was waitressing, working on farms, felt like I had a little cash in my pocket from my big waitressing job. I was walking downtown Corvallis, and I remember looking in the window and seeing this. I think a friend of mine had gotten like a mountain bike recently, so it was maybe on my mind. But I remember looking in the window and seeing this Trek Marlin, and I was like, "That looks like fun.
Ooh.
I'm gonna buy that." Walked in, $450. Felt like it was a pretty big purchase at the time, and yeah, just kind of bought it on a whim and did not really know what to do with it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to ride to the trailhead. And the trailhead in one of them in Corvallis is like up this big hill. And by the time I got there, I was exhausted and it was a total mess. But yeah, I just kind of had it and like dabbled around on it a bit. Found one of my boyfriends was into it in Corvallis. So he took me out a few times and thought it was super fun. And then I ended up moving to Bend. And when I got there, everyone mountain biked. I'm like, well, I have a mountain bike, so perfect.
That's what you do there.
Yeah, like sweet. I got one of those, and just kind of made friends, started going out, and I had a friend at the time who took me to Mount Bachelor and let me borrow a full suspension bike and took me to the bike park. Had no idea what the heck any of this was, and was just like, holy shit, this is it. So
Game
fun.
over.
Obsessed. Yeah. And just became obsessed with it. I actually was really into jujitsu at the time and kind of similar, just like any of these sports.
Don't mess with Hannah, people. Don't mess with Hannah.
That is why I put that out there. It's a minor threat. But yeah, it was like, hey, you have to like devote all your time, if you want to be good at something. And I don't know, mountain biking just, really grabbed me, became obsessed, and kind of dropped everything and just started going all the time. And again, Bend is such a great place to get into it. The trails are so accessible. I think probably similar to Arkansas, like accessible trails, lots of blues, greens, signage everywhere. And then having the bike park there and just the crowd I fell in with at the time were downhillers. And so I just, really took to the bike park. And then
you
I
dove
remember
right in.
Yeah.
You dove like right.
Yeah, I kind of did. Yes. I don't know. I just wanted to, and then you're riding with your friends and you're like, I want to keep up. Like, damn it, I want to ride with you. So I want to get better. And then I'm like, okay, I need a new bike, and found a 2011 Santa Cruz Heckler, which was my first full suspension bike, little 26-inch wheels.
Solid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, progressed as far as I could on that bike. And then felt like I was getting held back by it. And like, I need a new bike, but they're so expensive. And I didn't really know what to do. And I had just finished this job being a park ranger at the BLM, was back in Bend. I walked in. Yeah, and I'd always seen like Santa Cruz and Juliana Bikes online. Those are so cool. I want them. And so I found a dealer in Bend and I walked in and I was like, I really want to buy a Nomad. And will you hire me? Like, I need to work here. I need to work here because I need a bike. And, Dan, Pine Mountain Sports, Dan, the owner, bless his heart, he's such a sweetheart. And he did. He hired me and I ended up getting the Juliana Strega at the time, which was the equivalent of the Nomad.
Okay. Because it was travel bike.
Yeah, it was like 170. It was green, so pretty, and kind of didn't know too much about Juliana at the time. But yeah, bought that bike and then it was just game over. Just got to learn so much about bikes working at the bike shop and Ended up starting to run their women's mountain bike program out of the shop there, and yeah,
Nice.
and that's how it all started.
So you've been involved in this community, especially with women, for a while now, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think I started working at Pine Mountain in 2017. So
Yeah,
in the
that's a
grand
long time.
scheme, I know I'm working, now I work at Santa Cruz Bikes, so crazy. And, a lot of people here are like, I've been biking since I was a kid, and so sometimes I'm like, I feel a little bit of that imposter syndrome, like still am relatively new to all of it, but
Yeah,
just yeah,
yeah.
found the community, and I'm so
That's
grateful.
amazing. We got Trail Pimp here, who's one of our really amazing supporters. He took a question out of my playbook, which I was
Yeah,
going to ask you, which is
yeah.
what bike are you on now? What bike are you riding right now?
Yeah, so my daily driver is the Juliana Rubion, the equivalent
Nice.
of
What color?
the hot pink one, of course.
Yes.
The little
I want that bike so bad.
I know you do. We're gonna talk more.
Okay.
But I also I got a green lyric for it. So it looks like a little strawberry,
Ooh.
and it's so freaking cute. I love it.
I'm gonna to those of you watching, I'm gonna share with you guys like what this bike looks like. And I know Adam, you're listening. This bike is hot pink, my friend. Hold on, hold on. I
It's
gotta
hot.
show you this. This thing
It's
is
a
look at this bike right now.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
matte fuchsia.
And it's
Color.
a mullet, right? It's 29 in the front, it's
It
27
is.
in the back.
Yep, 150, 160 millimeters of suspension. And yeah, I love it. It was the first mullet bike I ever had, and I just love it. I'm 5'4". I'd always
Same.
ridden 27.5 front and rear. So, before this Rubion, I was riding the Straight all the time, which was the Nomad. I think like the version, I don't know, the last iteration or two iterations of the Nomad ago.
Yeah.
So, anyway, was like, okay, mullet. Like I've ridden some 29ers, just never felt super comfy on them. I was
Uh-huh.
just for my riding style and probably just never gave it enough time, and I'm short. So anyway, I find the mullet to be like just the sweet spot. You get the benefit of
Yeah.
a 29er up front, rolling over, obstacles, bumps in the road. But then here in
Yeah.
Santa Cruz, the trails are freaking steep, so I can still get off the back and like not
Yeah.
buzz my butt. They corner really great. So that's my daily driver. And then I'm lucky enough to also have a Santa Cruz V10 8, the new one, which is also a
No
mullet.
way.
And I'm
Oh,
obsessed.
girl. I
I
mean,
peeped. It's the coolest thing that will ever happen to me in my job. So that's okay.
we have the amazing Just the Maker in the house asking if you guys
Ooh,
accept random visitors at Santa Cruz HQ because I have a
we
feeling she's
do.
just going to show up one day. I'm just saying.
Okay,
Just
I would
saying.
be honored if Jess, you showed up here in Santa Cruz. I'll roll out the red carpet for you. And we absolutely do accept visitors. Like you can get a factory tour. When I have friends or family visit, I give factory tours. So totally, that would be
Yeah.
really fun. We could make our
Yeah.
own little Factory Friday video. We should talk.
Also, Jess, if you're watching here, I'm yeah. Dirt Scouts. Make the best beer. No, I think that's awesome. That bike is absolutely amazing. And I actually saw it in person in March at the Sedona Mountain Bike Festival. One of the ladies we were riding with, she had that bike. And I was just like, I was doing like one of these. I'm like,
Yeah,
can I
you're like,
take your,
"Oh,
can I have,
God."
can I?
I know.
I've
I
never ridden a
know.
Santa Cruz or a Rubion or the VPP suspension. Like that's totally new to me, friend.
Yeah, we got to change that. We got to change
Yeah.
that. Yeah, the pink, it's funny because I feel like maybe 5 years ago, if we launched a pink bike, it maybe would have been not accepted well. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
pink has had a comeback. And we launched it even before the Barbie movie, which I'm like, oh, we could have
Yes.
we could have done some cool stuff with
Ah.
that. But yeah, I love having a pink bike, and men, women, all genders love that bike.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think we're lucky enough to have Campbell Steers. Shout out to my girl who is a graphic designer, one of them here in Santa Cruz in the building. And she's like dedicated kind of Juliana colorways, and we just score with her. So yeah, she comes up with
Yeah.
some good colors. I don't think Santa Cruz is opposed to pink bikes by any means, because I see some gender discussion going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, we
they
got
just-
Adam in the house who loves hot pink. He bought one of my shirts with the hot pink logo on it. So I know he's all
So-
for it.
Maybe there will be some pink Santa Cruzes coming in the future. That's all I'll say.
Ooh, Adam, I think you're
There
gonna
you
have
go.
to switch, my friend. I think you need
Yeah.
to switch from Specialized to Santa Cruz. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
definitely
Putting
do,
that out there.
Adam.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why so I kind of shopped a little bit for a bike recently in the Juliana family, because I know that they make bikes for short women, and I come in at 5 foot. So, and
Shorty.
unfortunately, yeah, the like shortest part of me is my legs. So like the standover is just so challenging for me to find a bike. And there was a demo where I got to do, I think, demo the Furtado, and unfortunately it was just, they really only allowed us to have the bike for like 45 minutes. So putting it on the rack, getting it to the trailhead, trying to adjust the brakes and everything for me just to take it around like 2 times, it was pretty short. So I'm gonna rent it, because they do actually have an extra small in stock for me, but I kind of think I could fit on the small too.
Yeah.
But I would love to have a 29er, because right now
Mhm.
I have a 27.5, and Bentonville has so many rocks and boulders, and I
Yeah.
feel like I could probably get up and over stuff just a little bit better if I had a different tire on there.
Totally.
I work with what I have. It is what it is. But
Right.
yeah, I'm like, I do want to demo that bike really bad, like, but all day, and take it on the big stuff.
Seriously.
All day,
Like,
every
all
day.
all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I would encourage you to also try a mullet, just saying.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Can't go wrong either way. I think having a 29-inch wheel up front is a major benefit. And then, yeah, a full 29er. That makes sense. I've ridden in Arkansas, and it's pretty like, I don't know. I feel like it's not anything steep per se, but you do have a lot of rocks and chunder, and yeah,
There's
I
a
could
lot
see
of tech.
29er. Yeah, I
There's
could
some
see
A lot of
29er
tech.
stuff.
Yeah.
being helpful.
Yeah.
there.
And the areas that we ride a lot, those are definitely it's definitely like raw hand cut trails. So if there was a boulder there, they don't move it or chip at it or anything. It's just kind of like, nope, you get up and over this, or you come down it. So
Yeah.
it's just up there.
Yeah.
So it is challenging with a 27.5 to attempt to get over like a 3-foot rock.
Yeah, you can get, not a challenge for sure. Well,
Okay.
you should maybe try an extra small Furtado or Rubion or the Joplin. We
Yeah.
also make an extra small, which is a 29er front and rear as well. So
Yeah.
I think the Furtado would be perfect for Bentonville. I think it would be like
Yeah.
a perfect bike.
That's what
Yeah,
I
I
rode
don't. You
when I
don't
was there.
want to travel down here because it's so pedal heavy anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I have to pedal miles to get to the top to go downhill. So
Yeah.
I don't want a big old travel bike. Just not needed.
Yeah.
So Adam, we're gonna send you. I'm gonna make it a campaign to get you a hot pink bike. Whether we need to wrap it or whatever, we're gonna do it. Trail Pimp is asking you if you like the new V10.
I do. I really, really do. I had the older V10, or the last version of the V10, in a small. So the previous V10, a size small, was 27.5 front and rear, and it was just small, like really little. I think the reach was like 413 millimeters, and it was fun because it was like pretty nimble for a downhill bike. Like I would ride it all the time in Santa Cruz. Everyone's always like, you don't need a downhill bike. I'm like, you've never ridden a downhill bike, have you? Because if you did, you need one. So then jumping to this new one, it's a mullet in a size small, and it's also much bigger, and there's 3 positions for the headset cups and the chainstay. So it can actually grow by 8 millimeters. So I have it set up right in the middle of all those settings. So it's at 420 reach. And yeah, man, to me, it just is it was such a big upgrade. It feels really well balanced. I feel like it corners so well. It brakes better. Like the suspension.
What brakes do you have on there?
Better. Actually, at this moment, I have one Hope and one TRP because I busted my other Hope. So I'm a trend setting right now with 2 brakes. But I have been running Hopes on there, which I'm a big fan because you can really adjust the lever and engagement for a smaller hand.
Oh, nice.
And they're strong. They kind of suck to bleed, but other than that, they're amazing. So yeah, big fan of the new V10. To me, it definitely feels like a more of a proper sled. Like I feel more planted to the ground. Feels like a good, solid downhill bike. But
That's awesome.
so
That's awesome. So I do have some questions here I want to ask you as well.
Yeah.
One of them being, what's it like being a woman in the MTB industry? Like you've been in the industry for a little while now, and you started at a bike shop, and you came back to one of the biggest mountain bike companies in the world. Like I think my friend Mark once said that Santa Cruz is like the Gucci of mountain bikes because I said I told him how my wife will only ride a Santa, like she won't ride anything else but Santa Cruz's. And he's like, well, you kind of started her off in the Gucci of mountain bikes. What do you expect? So
it's true. Once you taste that gold, you only want gold, you know?
So what's it like? Like, what has your experience been like being a woman in the MTB industry?
Yeah, I've been ruminating on that question because there's just so much to say, really. But you know, I feel pretty lucky in general, I want to be positive and like I feel I have had a really great experience in the bike industry. You know, like working at Pine Mountain Sports is like a car dealership of a bike shop. Like they're just so dialed, so professional. They have multiple women working there, so it wasn't like I was the only one. And Dan just really values that professionalism and like treating customers a certain way. So I was lucky enough not to like walk into a super bro-y bike shop and have that experience, which I have had before. Oh my gosh, so intimidating walking in when you're like, I just want to know things and I don't know anything, you know? And so then, you know, getting the job with Juliana, yeah, sometimes it feels like being the youngest sibling and trying to get your family to listen to you. You know, like you kind of have to yell extra loud, but you want to do that in a way that's still acceptable and not gonna
God forbid.
Men like, oh,
you're
be
a woman.
Sorry. Beep. Yeah, so there's definitely, I feel it is a bit of a dance, but I think it mirrors what we deal with in society. You know, it's the same thing. It's just like what we all deal with every day. And there's so many wonderful men, and I'm lucky enough to I work with predominantly men and love my coworkers, you know? But yeah, I do feel, especially being like a younger, smaller woman, sometimes I feel like I just have to present myself and yeah, you just kind of have to try a little harder to be taken seriously and to be heard. And it can be really frustrating. And, you know, yeah.
I mean, but I feel like you brought up a good point. It's relevant for women across the board, I guess, in certain industries. You know, like Adam is just pointing out, it sucks that it still has to be a dance. I mean, it is in a lot of industries for women nowadays, especially ones that are dominated by men. And I know that there are a lot of men who are advocates and allies and, you know, do all the things to help us, especially all the amazing ones in the chat, all the guys that showed up today to support us. But yeah, it's still unfortunate, but I think I touched earlier, you are now part of the Santa Cruz marketing team too, right?
Yeah, just recently that kind of happened where I got brought into Santa Cruz marketing as well. And it just makes sense. I mean, like I work in this room with the Santa Cruz marketing team every day, but kind of was just doing my own thing, like operating a bit on an island. So now it's so great. It's just more cohesive. There's just more clarity on like what Juliana is doing, what Santa Cruz is doing, how we could work together. So that's been really great. And the depth of knowledge in the Santa Cruz marketing team is huge. And I feel lucky to get the sounding board now a bit, which I
Yeah.
had before, but now just having it more official is great. Plus, Santa Cruz needs to market to women. Turns out they're not a male specific brand, so that's cool to hopefully get to help push that along. And yeah, I guess like I do take my role really seriously, and I feel really lucky to be in a role that can have some influence and try to push the envelope for my fellow women because I'm just so grateful. Elena Caldwell, Kelly Emmett hired me, 3 years ago and gave me this chance. And so I
That's
get to
amazing.
hopefully offer, and support other non-males in the bike industry. So yeah,
I
it's
think
like,
it's good.
yeah,
I
it's
think it's
all
great. I think
Yeah.
your knowledge from the woman's perspective is really going to help in the Santa Cruz side of things too. Like you have really amazing knowledge that would help your counterparts there because that's something that is lacking in most things is the woman's perspective in this male industry.
good.
I'm
And
excited for you.
thank you. I appreciate it. And, I don't think it's like necessarily on purpose that, I don't think people are walking around being like, I don't care about what women think, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's more just like, we gotta make money. But I'm like, you know what? There's a whole market out there that we haven't properly marketed to.
Yes.
Like, there's money to
Yes.
be made marketing to women. So,
Yeah, see,
let's do
that's
it.
when I was, talking to you earlier about like, is it difficult to market to women more so than men? Like now you are going to have that experience of kind of seeing what, you know, that looks like a little bit between marketing
Yeah.
for per Santa Cruz or just for Juliana and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and I just feel like it is, women do, I think, make purchasing decisions differently than men. Obviously, general broad statements here, but I do think that's true. And but I think more than anything, it's like being able to see yourself in the marketing campaigns. Like, do I see myself out there? It's just like, why should
Yeah.
women be at Red Bull Rampage? It's like we need that aspirational marketing. You should be able to see someone like you at the pinnacle of your sport or whatever you're striving to do
Yep.
for inspiration. And yeah, I'm probably not going to go compete in Red Bull Rampage, but yeah, and that's
Hey,
same with not just women, but like
you're
non-binary people, and yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're a woman in one of the biggest mountain bike companies in the world. Like that,
Mhm.
you have a seat at the table, and I think that that's phenomenal. We can't even go into Rampage. I'm still so upset about all of that. Like I
So,
can't.
so
I'm
good.
glad. Like in a
I mean,
way, if
you
Becca's
want to
listening to this,
sling
she's going off.
yourself you want to
Yeah,
sling yourself off a cliff on a bike at your
power to
leisure.
them.
Go ahead and do that. Why?
Power to
Why
them.
would you deny someone wanting to do that? I don't want to do it.
I
A
It's
lot
know.
the
of people do it.
representation, right? It's like you said, I want to see someone like me on a billboard. I want to see someone like me ripping
Yeah.
down the downhill on a Juliana or a Santa Cruz. It doesn't matter. Like I want to be,
Well, I think too
represented.
this, just like any women's sport that you have to pave the way certainly, but there was never really any room for large amounts of women to come into sports and especially this sport. And so if you did so happen to make it up there, well then competing started, right? Because they were maybe only going to allow one or two women at a time. So then all that competition starts and then there's jealousy and all this stuff that goes on. And now I
Yeah.
feel like that probably is maybe how the old school dudes used to think about it is like, oh, well, we can't really
Yeah.
let the women in because all they do is just, complain about the competing against each other and there's jealousy and all this stuff. But now it's like,
Which
it's
is
It's so
just so
stupid.
much
literally
more accepted.
completely false. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
competing.
narrative.
There's room for us all together now to be up there. So I
Yeah.
really don't feel like that is an issue anymore because
Yeah.
now we can all actually support and encourage each other and like, yeah, let that stigma go to the
Yeah. And
side.
that mentality just isn't, it doesn't add up. It's like, men competing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's antiquated, as Adam said, and I
Oh
know
yeah,
that a
here we
lot
are.
of men out there, support. There was a huge support, in our rally cries to let women ride and rampage,
Yeah.
and that was really awesome to see. It's just unfortunately that I think a lot of our industry is run by, just like our government, some older men who've been in this position for a long time, and they just can't even get out of their own way. Like
Yeah.
their minds are set in a way, and they can't even get out of their own way. And
But like everyone, it'll evolve. They'll
Yeah.
disappear. The evolution, it'll change. Mindsets will change, and we just
yeah,
have to keep plugging along and do what we
it's
do. And
happening.
be
It's already happening.
it's already happening. Just pivoting real quick. Trail Pimp was talking about the VPP suspension, and I was saying how I've never ridden it. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like
Yeah, a little
what's
bit. I'm
awesome
not an
about the
engineer,
VPP?
so
No, that's
I'm just
fine.
a
That's
marketing I'm just a marketing person. But yeah, VPP stands for Virtual Pivot Point. And
nice.
yeah, so the VPP suspension, we've been using it, I think, since like 2001. And
Ooh.
pretty much it just like most suspension, I think, is trying to be as plush as possible while always also being as efficient as possible. And I think a lot of what I hear from people outside of Santa Cruz who ride all sorts of different bikes and so can give a good perspective is maybe Santa Cruz bikes ride. They're very supportive. They're not like, I don't want to say they're stiff because that sounds bad, but like they
Sturdy.
they're sturdy, yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of got lost in my train of thought there, but
No.
I wrote down a little bit about the VPP in case this came
Nice.
up. So, but yeah, so pretty much it utilizes two links that rotate in opposite directions, creating a virtual pivot point. Yeah, so it makes the design it's really tunable and delivers, yeah, just like great riding characteristics. And if you do want to know more, if you go on the Santa Cruz website, there's a whole page about VPP suspension.
I'm
so
trying to pull it up
on the
right now.
website. But yeah, every company has their patented design, and that's the one we've been using for 22 years now. So
Dang.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love how on the website it also has a link that says like find the right bike for you too. I
Yes.
think
So
that's really cool.
that's a newer campaign we just launched, is our Quizinator, we call it. So because aesthetically, if you look at Santa Cruz Juliana bikes, aesthetically they look very similar, right? The shock's oriented in the same way. And I think if you're kind of getting into the sport and you're like, which one should I purchase? It can be easy to be like, oh my gosh, they all look the same. And so you can now take this quiz, and it, but through answering different questions will kind of lead you to the bike you should have, which we're about to. So that is launched on the Santa Cruz website, and we're just about to launch it on the Juliana website.
Nice.
So you'll be able to do that too. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you about too is this. Like, I guess this is new for Juliana and Santa Cruz, where you can buy online and pick up in store, right? That's a new feature.
It is. It's new. Yeah, kind of a big deal, just trying to make our product more accessible. Santa Cruz Juliana is not a direct to consumer brand. So you have to purchase us through a bike shop, which is amazing. That's what we support, so many like mom and pop shops, all over the world. So, and then, we do sell online through Mike's Bikes, Evo, and Backcountry. And so this kind of buy online, pick up in the store is pretty much utilizing our B2B, but it's putting that in the power of the consumer. So, I know I want an S kit Rubion, in Jade, and my local dealer does not have it. You can order it. It'll show up at your bike shop to be built. And yeah, so it's pretty awesome. It's just putting that power into the hands of the consumer and kind of deleting a step of having to like have your bike shop employee do that for you. So
yeah, that's pretty
still
awesome.
including the bike shop in there, right? As you're doing that. So which is pretty cool.
Yeah, which I think is awesome. And like I love that we support bike shops, and we also like, although our, frames and wheels come from Taiwan, the carbon bits, here in the factory, we have like 350 employees that are assembling every single Santa Cruz Juliana bike. So they're all assembled here in Santa Cruz, which is a pretty big deal. Most other companies, everything's done overseas. So another thing I really appreciate about our company. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think Trail Features has a good question here. I know that women-specific brands have helped bring more women into the sport. What is some of the best feedback Juliana has gotten from women riders about what they love about Juliana Bikes?
That's awesome.
That's a really great question.
I think, Juliana just gets to be another choice for people. There's some women out there who are like, nah, I want a Santa Cruz, or I want a Giant, whatever it may be. Maybe I don't want to be a part of a women's specific thing, and that's totally fine. But some do. And so we get to offer that space. Like, if you don't really identify with the super male dominated, mountain bike culture out there, come be with us. And we're inclusive. We're really Juliana is a community. And I think that's what going out into the world, like going to Rome Fest, posting our demos and stuff, it's always such an amazing affirmation because there's so much love for Juliana. I mean, at Rome Fest, they open the gates at 8 a.m. and women are sprinting to Juliana.
Yes.
And our bikes go out first. Like it's crazy. And I think it's just because our attention to detail and our focus on elevating femme riders in a very male dominated space. So that above anything is what I think draws women to Juliana. Obviously, we have a premium product.
Yeah.
It's tried and true. As you said, Santa Cruz bicycles are known, and we just make a good product. But I think Juliana, it's beyond the product. It's about the community that we get to provide and the space we get to offer for the people who want it.
Yeah. That's so cool.
That is awesome.
I think we were going to ask her that question, right, Candace? We had something like that written down.
Yeah.
Yep.
The next one. What is the inspiration behind the name Juliana? I know this, but let Hannah answer this question.
Yeah. So legend Juliana Furtado herself, if you don't know, she was like a epic bike racer back in the 90s, and she won both the cross country world championship and the downhill world championship same year, which was like unheard of at the time. It was like, what the heck? And they're on these crazy, pretty much rigid bikes.
Oh man.
So she's just peak of her sport, and was involved with Santa Cruz, and she came to Rob Roscup at the time and was like, hey, what are we doing to market to women? What are we doing for women out here? And so she inspired the brand, and we started off with just it was a Santa Cruz Juliana. So it was a Santa Cruz model, but Juliana. And then we became a standalone brand in 2015 or 14.
That's so 15. Awesome.
Or maybe 13, one of those years. And
it's been a minute.
But yeah. And so, yeah, Julie Furtado, she still lives here in Santa Cruz.
Yes.
I mean, would you get higher than that when a bike brand is like, okay, we're just going to name these bikes after you, and then market them to women, and like, okay, well, I just peaked.
Yeah, I know. She
can't go any higher than that.
She hates the limelight. I'm always inviting her to our parties. She does show up to some Juliana parties sometimes, but she kind of like is in the corner, and like she doesn't love the limelight, which I'm like, girl, this is your freaking brand.
I know. These are like your babies. Like,
there's a lot of pride there for her for sure. I know she's very proud of the brand, and I'm so grateful she had this idea. So here we are.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Who does pick the colorways for Juliana bike?
I'm telling you, it's Campbell Steers, my girl. Yeah. I mean, in general, the Santa Cruz, graphics team, they're just amazing. They're perfectionists. I've sat in some meetings when they're discussing colors, and it's unbelievable. You're like, oh, it's a color, like whatever. It is not just a color. They go into the history of the bike and how it lines up with the other bike. And like,
Wow.
there's so much thought that goes into picking the colors for Santa Cruz and Juliana. It's wild. You know, Juliana, in many ways, like colors and lots of other things, since we are kind of the smaller brand within this bigger company, we kind of get to like do things a little differently sometimes, which is great.
Yeah.
We don't have as, I feel, as such hard lines as Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz is just so big and established. So yeah, we kind of get to pick our colors a little more. Maybe we get a little more say, I would say. But honestly, it's Campbell. She gets it.
Well, maybe as Trail Features is suggesting, Campbell can help the rest of the industry pick good colors. I don't know. I think there's some great colors on bikes nowadays.
Yeah,
There are,
I think
for
so, too.
sure. Yeah. They're also
Just
pretty.
looking at the Juliana ones right now, I mean, I can't get over that hot pink. To me, that's amazing. But
Oh, see,
Candace,
I really love that like jewel kind of dark sagey green color that's on the
do
Furtado.
you?
I love that
That
because I would change the
aquamarine.
triangle and I would want to put like a neon yellow triangle, like rear triangle in the back.
So that's the Rubion, but
This
then
one?
also the Furtado.
Oh, yeah. There.
The Furtado is also a similar, but it's like, it's called aquamarine. It's a little different. It has like a bit of effervescence. Like that one's also beautiful. It's like a freaking unicorn.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I rode with Tess, Dusty Betty, last month, and she had this bike, and this bike looked really nice in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great one.
It was a great bike, especially for Sedona. But no, Candace, I swear to God, you need to get this one. This is the one you need to get. Look at the color of this thing. Hold on. Let's go down to the specs at the bottom. I'm too excited. I'm picking out Candace's bike for her. Look at this. It's like fluorescent. There's like this.
It's pearly. In the light,
Yeah.
it changes color. It can turn like purple, and it's kind of oil slick-ish.
I love that. I'm very much into oil slick right now. I started kitting my bike out in oil slick everything. So like I do love a good color change.
This Furtado,
Imagine this
gorgeous
with oil slick accents, Candace. Imagine this.
Yeah.
Okay, Candace, that's the
make
bike
my
we're getting you.
size.
We do.
Yeah,
we
and that's
So I do see one question over here that I'd love to answer, if that's okay.
Yeah.
The mountain bike.
Yeah,
He's asking about sizing.
Here we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Hey, Johnny, here we go.
And I just kind of want to bust this myth because
Let's bust it.
Right.
bust it. Like Juliana bikes are not, it's literally a Santa Cruz frame painted differently. There are differences in touch points, women's specific seat, little bit narrow bars, women's specific grips. We do have a little different shock tune. The compression is a slightly lighter tune, which honestly would benefit a lot of humans under a certain body weight. No, the sizing and geometry is exactly the same. It's not sizing isn't about gender. It's just about body type. So, if your wife is 5'9", it probably depends. She's like kind of on the cusp, right? Of like a medium large, but probably medium. If she has like an uber long torso, then maybe a large, but yeah, just want to put it out there that the shrink it and pink it thing of the past is not a thing. Like women don't need a different
that
product.
term.
Yeah. I was like,
I never heard that.
Shrink it, pink it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I heard that the other day. One of my buddies actually texted me that. And I was like, where did you even hear that? He's like, oh, it's just a term people use. And I was like, that's so not.
It's weird. But now I'm like, yes, pink it. I want it pink, but you don't need to shrink it.
I mean, I want that pink bike, but I also want that super amazing looking Furtado right there. And just as Jess would say, get her with the peer pressure. I am known to get my friends to buy bikes. One of my best friends, my riding buddy, he lives like 2 doors down from me. He had this old bike. It was like an 8-year-old bike. And I saw a Santa Cruz Hightail. It was the height of COVID where you couldn't find like any bikes, right? And I was at my bike shop and I was like, Kyle, there's this red Santa Cruz Hightower carbon. Like, you need to get this bike. And he's like, I'm in Monterey. I can't get down there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, just call the shop. Tell them you know me. And they're going to put the bike on hold for you. A day later, he buys the bike.
Yes.
Every single day.
Friend.
every single day that we ride, he's like, just don't tell Mia you want to buy a new bike because she'll convince you to get one.
Well, I'm just
Candace.
saying, yeah, bikes are because of, we're on the like flip side of COVID. Now we all have too many bikes and you can get some great pricing on bikes right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the website and some of the bikes are really, really amazingly priced. Like I couldn't
Yeah,
believe that you could get a carbon bike under $5,000.
I know,
Like
right?
that's
Amazing.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So it
And a
actually
lot
is
of these, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying it is actually a good time to purchase a bike these days.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. With some great components. You've got some SRAM, a mixture of SRAM and RockShox on there, but the
Mhm.
components are good. And one thing I will say to Johnny's question about the differences in the bikes, the saddle makes a huge difference for women. Like if you get a bike for Lauren and you want to get a Juliana, like she's going to be loving that saddle because that's one of the biggest things that I've been through 5 different saddles until I found the one that I liked.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first thing that changed when I purchased my last bike
Yeah.
because the 2x4 they had me sitting on was so uncomfortable. I was like, I would rather just hover over my seat and bike for
Yeah.
10 miles than sit on this thing. And I even put it on David's bike and he was like, this is insane. This seat is longer than the seat that was on his transition. He was like, how is this? He was like, this is what came stock on your extra small Rocky. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. So I
Yeah.
literally was like, I have to go get a new seat now. Like, it was wild.
Seats are
So,
Yeah.
hard.
but I do.
Like, it's
Seats are
so,
hard.
like, we honestly don't put we do put time and effort into our seats, but it's kind of like, you just know that someone's probably gonna change it out because it's just so specific, like to you.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can totally see that. Like, why waste money on
Yeah.
that?
We're not,
You could put
we're
that
not a
money
seat
into
company.
another part of the bike. Yeah,
Yeah.
that someone's not gonna like upgrade. So
Yeah.
What I think would be really cool? I had this idea the other day and I was telling my wife, she's like, sure, she just listens to me. Like she's awesome. She would just listen to me like go on for hours. But what if when you are picking your bike and you want to get the trim or whatever, there's an extra little drop down button on the website that lets you pick a saddle.
That would
Since
be
these
so
are
rad.
all like these bikes are made in-house. They're assembled, right?
Yeah.
At the factory. Like,
Yep.
why not have a drop down that a woman or a man, whoever has wider sit bones like me, can go, okay, I need the 165 mil saddle versus the 130, whatever.
I know.
You know?
That would be so dreamy. Yeah.
yeah,
Just saying.
So many things I would want to be able to specify on the bike.
Yeah.
It all comes
Oh,
down to SKUs and all that and blah blah blah.
the assometer. Thank you, Alexis. Alexis is part of our crew. She works at a bike shop too now, and
Oh yeah,
she
just started
says they
following
have.
them.
Yeah, Alex, she's awesome. Earlier you were talking about you were fortunate to work at this bike shop that didn't have like the bro culture and the bro mentality. I think sometimes it gets hard for women who do work at bike shops like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
Oh,
hard.
Adam wants his assometer now. You should go get it measured, Adam. Go see
Yeah.
Alexis.
Definitely worth it.
She'll-
Worth doing that.
What are the chances that Juliana will come out with an e-bike anytime soon? Any chances of that happening?
Oh boy.
that sounds like she's got something. It's like a
That
classic
sounds like we
reaction
should
right
skip
there.
the question.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a bit of a sore subject for me. No, but
I'm
I
sorry.
hope soon. Yeah, I hope
Okay.
very soon. Unfortunately, I don't have the power to decide
Who do we
what
speak to?
line of bikes Juliana has. But yeah, I really think that that's the biggest thing that I'm pushing for at this moment is because Juliana is a brand that like our mission is about inclusivity and
Yeah.
e-mountain bikes are like the biggest way to be inclusive, right?
Yep.
It is. So I really think it's coming down the pike. It's a hard time, in the industry. We kind of got to move through the product we have. And then, I'm
Yeah.
hoping I'm hoping it's coming soon.
Well, we're here to help. Anything. Who do we need to talk to? Like, I
We need
will
to get
get
that
on the email
data.
keyboard.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to collect, when I'm at Rome, when I'm out in the field,
Yeah.
I'm trying to really collect that data of like how many people ask me about an e-bike and and I think in time it'll happen. Yeah.
I am more than happy to share what I have with you too, because we're
Thank
working on
you.
an e-bike series, as you know.
Yeah,
We've been
yeah,
talking about that.
Mhm.
So like happy to do it. And then if Lauren and I come up to Santa Cruz in December,
I hope
we
you
wanna
do.
like talk to some people. I have a
Yeah.
big mouth. Everyone knows that. I'm just gonna go ahead and like
I
talk to
love it.
people.
Yes, thank you. We should talk more for sure, but yeah.
I think I've been talking too much. Candace, did I blow some of your questions? Like what? I think
No.
you had some stuff no. Okay. All right.
No.
She answered mine.
We usually have one question we also ask the guests, and what is the best, worst advice you've ever received about when riding your mountain bike? So like the advice is so bad that it's like the best one you've ever received. Like just pull back or just pull up or just send it, or you know what I mean? Like what is the best, worst advice that you had?
I wish I had something super duper clever. I've been thinking about this and I wanted to be like, boom, with this zinger. But I honestly feel like it is the just send it or like, follow me. Oh yeah. Want me to lead you through? Like, follow me. And
Yeah.
I think that can be the worst advice if you don't know the person. And I think, yeah, like I have my own little story about that of kind of being green, but like, I'd started to jump. I was hitting some bigger things, felt confident. I got asked to be a part of this promotional video for a new trail at Mount Bachelor, Red Line, which is like their version of A line. So it's their jump line and it's big.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And, didn't get to walk it, didn't get to see it. And I'm with Carson Storch, Reed Boggs, and Sage. I can't remember his last name, but like these professional male mountain bikers. And I'm like so intimidated, like, oh my God. And like, I'm not going to ask anyone, like, I got this. I'm just going to follow. So I'm like, I'm just going to follow. And you know what? That's when I got my concussion. I straight up knocked myself out cold.
Dude.
Yeah. And that was a huge learning experience for me. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, there's no shame in this game. Like, ask, be like, I need to walk this first. I need to look at this first before I just blindly hit it. Now, at the same time, there are those moments where you're like, okay, I see this feature. I know I'm fully capable of it, but I'm nervous. And your homie who and trust, like, just follow me. You're like, okay, yes. But I just think it's funny when I also hate it being at a bike park or being somewhere and someone I do not know from anyone comes up and is like, can I follow you through that? I'm like, no. I don't want to take responsibility for what may happen to you. So
I feel the same way. So I was in Sedona a few weeks ago and we were doing this black trail and I'm on a cross country bike doing a Sedona like steep. And someone was like, can I just follow you? And I said, no, you're good. Follow, Amaret, the coach, the one who knows this line like the back of her hand. Like, don't follow me because I'll probably take like some weird line down. But I mean, you're following some pro rampage riders, dude. Like, that's insane.
Oh God.
Yeah. I was so intimidated. It was ridiculous. And those guys are so nice. And they're like Bend locals and they're sweethearts.
Yeah.
But oh my God, just like waking up on the trail to like Reed Boggs being like, Hannah, are you okay? I'm like, oh my God. Oh yeah, that was embarrassing. So never again. Like, you know what? Don't follow the rampage riders. Just look out for yourself and it's okay.
There's no way in this earth I would follow a pro rider down a line like that. I don't care what my skill level, because they're just going to be doing all the amazing things they want to do, right? Like, and I'm going to think I can whip my bike and I'm going to get a concussion. Like, that's just the reality.
They can just go at a speed that a lot of us don't go at regularly. And I'm like, I'm going to keep up. And that was,
oh God. So. It like makes me anxious thinking about it.
Yeah, it was I'm so grateful. Like, I was wearing a chest protector and full face helmet, and thank goodness I was
Good.
okay. But it was definitely a great wake up call of like, what we
Yeah.
do is dangerous. And,
Yes.
you have to operate within your own limits. Obviously, we want to push ourselves, but yeah, there's just no shame. Like, we all
No.
want to be walking away at the end of the day. So,
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
Adam is saying right there. There's no shame in this game. A lot of people need to learn it. And I do that all the time. People
yeah.
were surprised when they ride with me when I walk some features, especially some I don't know. I'm like, wow, I don't need to die right now. I don't need to
Yeah.
break something. Like,
And
I'll
no
learn
one
the feature and
cares,
then I'll do it.
No one
No
cares.
one
Like,
cares. There's, yeah.
yeah, you get in your head, like, even now, even still, if I'm riding with my buddies and like I'm just having an off day, and I'm just not feeling it, and then I get all pissy at myself, like, you're such a wuss. Like, God, I should have
Yeah.
hit that. And
Nah.
it's like, literally no one cares. So
I mean, I watched one of my favorite YouTubers a while ago. His name's Tony from the Outsider channel. He had a gnarly crash at the end of a day, and he always talked about how he was feeling off that day, but he thought he could do it. He was tired, but he thought he could do it. And that has stuck with me for years because when I'm not feeling it or I'm just tired, I'm just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I just go back to that, like, listen to your mind telling you, like, you're good, just walk it.
Yep.
Or don't do it at all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I have
awesome.
to, when I come into a feature, if I'm kind of on that brink of like, but could I do it? Am I just scared? You're playing those mind games. It's like, if I can sit and close my eyes and see myself doing the feature, if I can envision it, then I'll do it usually. And if I just can't get my mind to get there, then I'm not doing it that day.
It's a big mind game. Like, and then
Yeah.
getting past that. I know, Candace, you had a gnarly crash earlier this year. Like, getting past that is a huge mental. How did you get through that, Candace? I know we talked about this a little bit, but
I learned that I need a pre-ride a
Yeah.
lot
oh yeah,
more
that's a big one.
than just assuming that I'm capable of any feature. So and I mean, Bentonville, they started calling it the mountain bike capital of the world. Obviously, everybody's heard that Bentonville's like self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed, yes,
Yes.
self-proclaimed.
But then some locals were also saying that it's like the beginner mountain bike capital of the world because of like all the signage that they have and everything. There really is. It'll be like Gap or, like it tells you and stuff. And when I was just riding in Tucson, like I'm really just approaching this thing, assuming it's a certain feature that I can totally do, and then hit it and realized, oh, like you just messed up like royally because you're not going to make it out of this. So yeah,
But you
I
did.
yeah,
You made it
I
out of
did.
it. We all did.
You know,
Yeah.
Hannah
yeah,
got positive
sometimes you pay the
concussion.
price, Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you pay the price.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and then you learn. I'm just gonna pre-ride, walk some stuff. So,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. You're okay.
yeah.
So I know the season's coming to a close for you, Hannah, and there's no more traveling for a little while. Are there any upcoming events that folks could probably get involved with, or is that something we should be looking forward to like early next year?
Yeah. Yeah. So we did just finish
Well, I was
kind of
looking
a
to
big,
see, does Juliana have like a calendar where you could like go and look to see just like, oh,
yeah.
I want to reserve this time to go out there.
Yeah, we need to actually get that back up on the website. We had that, pre-COVID. We used to have this like crazy robust demo
Yeah.
schedule. Unfortunately, it's just not that way anymore. But yeah, good call. I will get it up on the website. But this year we're kind of done for the year in terms of travel. But next year we will be at the Sturdy Dirty Enduro. We're presenting sponsors there, and then we'll be at Rome Fest. But next year, we're going to actually do a lot more from home. So we're going to be doing events here in Santa Cruz, which is really rad.
Nice.
And, I probably want to get into a regular cadence. In the winter, I usually do, because actually the wintertime is when the trails are popping off here. It's like the great time to ride. So don't tell everyone, but it's really good. And so
we're going to come down there next month.
Good. Oh, yeah. We got to ride. So I like to do group rides just from the factory in the winter. So I'm going to get a better cadence on that, probably a monthly group ride from the factory, open to the public. We also have this initiative right now with the factory store, which is like our showroom up front. That's open to the public. Walk on in, and we're doing a $20 Furtado demo. So it's only $20. You get the Furtado. You get the Furtado for the day. Go out riding. So that's really awesome. And then you can figure out how to purchase that bike if you so want to.
Do y'all ever sell the demo fleet?
Say it again.
Do y'all ever sell like any bikes from your demo fleets or
maybe?
Candace needs a Furtado.
Another cliffhanger.
I'll talk to you after.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, yes, we do. We actually do. And like, I actually do think this is more public knowledge now that we do sell our demo bikes. So that's a great opportunity for sure to purchase a bike at a great price. It's slightly used. But yeah, so next year those will be our two like big cornerstone events at the moment. But like I said, our showroom is open all the time. If you're ever in Santa Cruz, you can walk on in. You can ask for Hannah, and I'll come up and say what's up and give you a factory tour. And so definitely stop by if you're ever in Santa Cruz.
You heard it here first, Jess the Maker. You can stop in at any time.
Yeah, Jess, come on over. And there's also, if you want to know more about Juliana or be more involved, we do the Juliana Journal, which is a monthly newsletter. And you can sign up for that on our website. We won't spam you with emails. It's just a monthly email. And we work really hard on our website. So there's a lot of information on there. So take a peek.
Yeah, let me just share real quick before we sign off, like where you can go. It's julianabicycles.com, and there's a community tab right on top here. And it has all the amazing things that they're happening right now. It highlights their athletes. It highlights some of their stories. It has, I also saw that you guys used to do lunch rides. Did I just see that somewhere?
So that just started as part of the, thank you for reminding me, part of our our Furtado initiative is for that $20 factory demo, you can come in, get the demo, and then you can actually request to go on a ride with someone from Juliana, and it could be me.
Nice.
We take
That's awesome.
Yeah, super cool. Haven't gotten a request yet, but when it does, I'll be there. And it's on a little lunch ride.
Yeah, Jess says she'll be right there. I mean, swing by Southern California and pick me up on your way up.
Oh my gosh, that would be too fun.
Hannah. Oh, Tony from The Outsider made it. He's the one I was telling you about earlier, how he's always in my head about when you're not feeling it, don't go riding.
Gotcha.
Thanks for making it out, Tony. Yeah, your ears were ringing pretty bad. And Adam, Jess for bringing so much joy to the community. She's hilarious. If you're not following Jess the Maker, go follow Jess. She's freaking hilarious, man. Brightens up my day. I wake up to her post and I'm like, okay, I'm in a good mood now. All right.
I know. Jess, you do such a good job. It's so awesome. Yeah.
Don't feed into her ego like a whole lot. Like,
give me a break. We know her. Thank you so much, Hannah, for joining us and taking the time to chat all things bike. I mean, I hope we can have you back sometime. And we're gonna make it up there next month, and we'll do a factory tour, and it's gonna be amazing. I just can't wait to ride with you. It's gonna be so cool.
Same here. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and thank you for what you're doing. I think it's so important, like we're all in this together. Another thing I love about being a woman in the bike industry and just in the world in general is like we do have this kinship and we want to see each other succeed, and we're all in this mission together. So thank you for what you're doing. And
we are a community. We're in it together. We're here to embolden women's voices and to make us a part of this industry. And I'm thankful for everyone in the chat who participated and everyone who watched. This is really cool. I don't even care if we had this 5 people. We are talking live people in the business.
Really appreciate everyone who tuned in, men, women. I love it. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank
Yeah,
you all.
Hannah, it
Have
was
a
great
great
meeting
night.
you.
Nice to meet you
Yes.
too. Thanks so much.
Sorry, Candace, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
It's all good.
All right, you guys have a great night. Thank
Thank
you for tuning
you.
in.
Good
And
night.
have a great rest of your week. Safe weekend next week. Make sure you ride pre-Thanksgiving because we're all going to need it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes.
Have a great night, everyone.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.